Fantasy basketball high score perfect lineup. Top 6 scores from Week 8 in the NBA. It was an odd week for fantasy basketball, with the NBA Cup quarterfinals and semifinals taking place in Week 8. As a result, many fantasy managers had fewer games to work with. That definitely impacted the week's high-score fantasy basketball perfect lineup. Let's take a look at the top 6 scorers on the week after recapping the NBA Cup so far. In the Eastern Conference, the Magic took down the Heat while the Knicks defeated the Raptors last Tuesday to advance to the semifinals. Desmond Bane was brought in via trade to Orlando before the season, and this was his signature performance so far, dropping 37 points on 14 of 24 shooting from the floor. The Knicks got 35 points from Jalen Brunson in their win over Toronto. Brunson would continue his strong play, scoring 40 points in the semifinal against the Magic to lift the Knicks to the NBA Cup final. Out west, the Thunder kept up their historic win pace by demolishing the Suns 138-89. A career game from point guard Stephon Castle helped the Spurs get by the Lakers to advance. Castle had 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists, carrying the team with Victor Wembanyama sidelined. Then, Wemby returned in heroic fashion to help San Antonio stun OKC with a 111-109 victory for the Thunder's second loss of the season. Wembanyama came off the bench, but scored 22 points in 21 minutes, with 9 rebounds. The Knicks and Spurs will meet on Tuesday in the NBA Cup final. Those stats will not count for fantasy matchups this week. A closer look at the top performers. Russell Westbrook. The Kings are likely headed for the lottery again and could start to move pieces as a result. But in the meantime, Westbrook is surprising everyone as a top 25 fantasy asset in high score. He posted a vintage triple-double line of December 24th, 14 with 3 stocks against the Pacers to start the wonky schedule week. There's almost always going to volatility with his box scores, but we're seeing a 70-point ceiling for Westbrook in the right spot. Keyonte George. The Jazz guard has taken a huge step in year 3 in the NBA. He's becoming a nice 1B option to Lauri Markkanen's 1A for Utah. Isaiah Collier missing time early on really cleared the way for George, who scored a career-high 39 points against the Grizzlies over the weekend. He has great category coverage, averaging 4.0 rebounds and 6.8 assists per game this season. That will allow him to maintain his floor of around 45 fantasy points. Derek Queen. Freezing cold takes must be having a field day, with everyone questioning the trade for Queen at the 2025 NBA Draft. While New Orleans gave up a lot, it looks like the franchise may have a stalwart as Queen is firmly in the Rookie of the Year conversation. He lands on this list thanks to his first career triple-double with October 10th, 33 to go with 3 blocks against the Spurs on Monday. Since November 4th, Queen is averaging 14.9 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 5.1 assists per game, while playing over 28 minutes per contest. Nikola Jokic. This feels like it's becoming a de facto weekly Jokic update. The top high-score asset had a quiet week with just 1 game in which Joker and the Nuggets made swift work of the Kings on Thursday. It was one of the lower high-score totals for the big man this season, but still likely helped your lineup pick up the W with scoring down last week. He had December 8th, 36 with 2 steals in just 29 minutes of action. Jalen Johnson. A down week can also be said about Johnson, who failed to reach the 70-point mark, but sneaks onto this list after edging out a few players at 59 points. Johnson recorded 2 triple-doubles on the week and now has a 4-game streak of triple-doubles. He continues to make his case for most improved player as we await the return of PG Trae Young. Young is expected to be back at practice this week, so a return appears imminent. That will likely impact Johnson's fantasy stock. Stephen Curry. Steph nearly reached a 50-burger on Sunday night to make it into the top 6 scorers for the week. He was lights out, shooting 16-26 from the floor and 12-19 from distance for 48 points. He also added 3 boards, 2 assists, 3 steals, and a block. We talk about this a lot, but the beauty of high score is that players like Curry can still turn it back and give us a ceiling game in the right environment. That was the 4th time Steph has scored 40-plus points in a game this season. The magic is still there.